Hello friends, my name is Lalit Singh Mehta and today we are going to see a problem on how to find the moment of inertia. So this is the problem, like we have to find the moment of inertia of a T section with flange as 150 mm into 50 mm. So this upper part is the flange, it is known as a flange, which is 150 mm into 50 mm, and the web is 150 mm into 50 mm. So the web is also of the same size as flange, so it is also 150 mm into 50 mm about xx and yy axis. So we have to find the moment of inertia of this section about xx and yy axis, correct? So let us start. So you can check the videos regarding videos regarding the how to find the center of gravity or the centroid of different sections in my playlist moment of inertia. There I have solved 3 to 4 numericals based on it. So again, for finding the moment of inertia, we have to find the position of the xx and the yy axis, means where exactly the xx and the yy axis lies on this section, for this section. So first, before entering into the problem, we have to check, we have to see the where is the reference axis. So first we will draw the reference axis, correct? So let us draw the reference axis. So suppose this is the reference axis. This is the origin O. This is OP. And this is OQ. You can name it anyways. I have named it OP and OQ. O is the origin. So this is the reference axis. OP is the vertical reference axis and OQ is the horizontal reference axis. Now we have to find the position of the xx and the yy axis with respect to this reference axis, correct? Means this is OP, this is OQ. So from where does the yy and xx, so and this point is the CG of this figure. So with respect to OP and OQ, from where does this xx and the yy axis lies with respect to OP and OQ, we have to find for this figure, which I have already solved this thing in my earlier problems. You can check there. So now we can see first we have to see where is the respective CG of first we will mark this rectangle as 1, section 1, this rectangle as section 1 and this rectangle as section 2, correct? We have divided the figure into 2 sections, section 1 and section 2, rectangle 1, rectangle 2. Then we will see that where is the CG of this rectangle. So the CG for a rectangle is at the center, correct? So this is G1, and where is the CG for this rectangle 2? It will be at its center, so it is G2. So we have located G1 and G2. So this is the respective CG of this rectangle 1 and this is the respective CG or centroid of this rectangle 2, correct? Now we have to check the symmetry. So when we check the symmetry of this figure, it can be noticed that this figure is symmetrical about yy axis, correct? Means if we fold the figure like this, something like this across the yy axis, then it will be divided into 2 equal parts. So figure is symmetrical about yy axis, correct? We have checked the symmetry of the figure. So this indicates that if the figure is symmetrical about yy axis, then you can directly draw the yy axis from the center. Y axis. So this indicates that x bar, this x bar, which is nothing but this distance, x bar. So this x bar is equal to 150 divided by 2, which is equal to 75 mm. All dimensions are in mm. So x bar is equal to 75 mm. From where did I get this? Due to the symmetry of the figure. So x bar is equal to 75 mm from reference axis OP. From OP. We have to write the reason for this: due to symmetry. Correct? Due to symmetry. So x bar is equal to 75 mm due to symmetry. If you want to solve this, so you can solve this also. X bar is equal to a1 x1 plus a2 x2 divided by a1 plus a2. The answer which you will get is again 75 mm. So this is one and the same. So because of the symmetry, we can skip this step. We can directly write x bar is equal to 75 mm from OP, because this figure is symmetrical about y axis. So our first task is done. Now we can find y bar. So y bar is equal to a1 y1 plus a2 y2 divided by a1 plus a2. Correct? This is the standard formula for finding the position of the x-axis and the y axis, x bar and y bar. But no need to calculate for x bar, because x bar is equal to 75 mm from OP due to symmetry, because the figure is symmetrical about y axis. So no need to calculate this. We can directly write x bar is equal to 75 mm from OP due to symmetry. Now we have to find y bar. What is area 1? Area 1 is the area of section 1, which is 150 into 50. Correct? A1 is equal to 150 into 50. A2, again A2 is 150 into 50. 150 into 50. So it will be 7500 mm square. 7500 mm square. Now what is this? Y1 and Y2. So now Y1 and Y2 are the distances, vertical distances. X1, X2 are this x1 and x2 were this distances. x1, this was x2. So x1, x2 were equal, because x1 from this reference axis, the distance of this CG from this reference axis is x1, and the distance of this CG from this reference axis is x2. x1 and x2 are same. x1, x2 are same, which is 150 divided by 2, 150 divided by 2. That's why our x bar was coming out to be 75 mm, exactly the y axis was passing through the center. But for y1 and y2, similarly on the same lines of x1 and x2, we have to calculate y1 and y2. So this y1 and y2 are the vertical distances. These are the distances from this reference axis. Now we have to calculate the distances of CG from this reference axis. So this is y1 and this is y2. So what will be the value of y1? y1 can be calculated by using simple geometry. Up till here it is 150, 150 plus 50, 200. So total length is 200, 200 minus 25, correct? 200 total minus 25 will give you y1. So it will be 175, 175 mm. And y2 is this is 150 web, 150 divided by 2, 75 mm. So if you put all these values in this equation, it is coming out to be 125 mm from OQ, from OQ. So y bar is coming out to be this is x bar, correct? So our x bar and y bar is done. X bar is 75 mm from OP and y bar is 125 mm from OQ. So let us draw this y bar with the help of y bar, x axis position of the x axis. So this is 150, correct? This web is 150. So it is 125 mm from OQ, 125 mm from OQ. So it will be somewhat here, correct? So this axis is x, correct, and this is y bar, which is equal to 125 mm, correct. So we got the value of y bar, we got the value of x bar. This is how we have got. We have solved these problems in my playlist, moment of inertia. You can check there how to calculate x bar and y bar for symmetrical, unsymmetrical, hollow sections. So you can get the formulas and all the methodology to find x bar and y bar for different figures. So we have got the value of x bar and y bar, means we have got the position of y axis and x axis with reference to OP and OQ, correct, and the point of intersection of the x and the y axis is called as the CG. This is the CG or centroid for the whole section. This is the CG for rectangle 1, this is the CG for rectangle 2, but this is the CG for whole section. It is the combined, it is the, you can say, resultant CG of the whole section, this G, correct. So we got our first task is completed, which is to find x bar and y bar, means position of the x and the y axis. So this is done. We have got x bar and y bar. So this is how you have to do it, correct. I will rub this. X bar and y bar position we got. Now we have to find the moment of inertia, correct. Now we have to find the moment of inertia about this x axis and about this y axis. Means we have to find I x and I y. So we have to find moment of inertia about x axis and moment of inertia about y axis. So this is the moment of inertia. Now we have to find moment of inertia about this axis and moment of inertia about this axis. So let us first go for moment of inertia about you can say the x axis. Moment of inertia about x axis. Moment of inertia about x axis. So moment of inertia about x axis can be a sum of two moment of inertias. How? I will show you. Ix is equal to moment of inertia of a rectangle 1 about x axis, correct, plus moment of inertia of a rectangle 2 about x axis. So the addition of moment of inertia of rectangle 1 about x axis and the moment of inertia of rectangle 2 about x axis will give us our moment of inertia about x axis. So we have to find moment of inertia of rectangle 1 about x axis and moment of inertia of rectangle 2 about y axis. Now before going into this, we have to understand something. What do you mean by parallel axis theorem? So I have already done a video lecture based on this. What do you mean by parallel axis theorem? You can check there. So I will just again give you a refreshing short lecture on this. So suppose this is y and this is x axis and this is g, and we are told to find, this is a new axis which is AB, and we are told to find moment of inertia across AB, correct? So AB, moment of inertia about axis AB we have to find. We have given XX and we have given YY, correct? So IAB is a new axis. So IAB is parallel to which axis? IXX, correct? So this XX axis plus area into h square. So this is nothing but parallel axis theorem. So what do you mean by IXX? IXX is, we know for a rectangle, if this is B and this is D, depth and width, so IXX is equal to BD cube by 12 plus area can be B into D. H is this distance, H square. So this is nothing but parallel axis theorem, correct? So this is a short intro about parallel axis theorem. So we have to apply parallel axis theorem here also. So I have given you a short, you can say a reminder about the parallel axis theorem. So this is parallel axis theorem. Similarly, if you want to find, suppose this is the axis YY and XX, and this is the axis AB. Now you have to find moment of inertia about AB. So how you will find AB? AB is parallel to which axis? IYY, correct? Plus area into h square. IYY is dB cube by 12 plus area B into D. H is this distance, h square. So basically these are the two examples of parallel axis theorem I have given you. If we want to find AB like this, so it is parallel to XX, so IXX plus area into h square. If the AB is parallel to YY axis, then you have to use the parallel axis IYY plus area into h square. So h is this in this case and h is this in this case. So just remember, parallel axis theorem is just a shifting theorem. It is a shifting theorem, correct? So we are shifting it. We want to find IAB, so we are using the parallel axis to it plus area into h square. So these two are examples of parallel axis theorem, correct? Now we will go into our numerical. So IXX is moment of inertia of rectangle 1 about XX axis, correct? So we have to find the moment of inertia of rectangle 1 about XX axis, correct? So moment of inertia of rectangle 1 about XX axis. So this can be written as, now see, this is the XX axis and there is a axis of, I will show you something like this. Again parallel axis theorem will be used. Suppose this is the figure. Now this is the XX axis and this is something, this axis. So there are two axes which we have. This is the XX and this is the axis of first rectangle, rectangle 1. I will call it as I can say IG1, G1, G. So this is IXX. So this is a moment of inertia about XX axis and this is moment of inertia about G1, because I have pointed center of gravity as G1. So you can see that this axis and this axis I have drawn here, correct? This axis and this axis, and the mi of rectangle 1 about XX axis, mi of rectangle 1 about XX axis. So we have to use again parallel axis theorem. We want to find this, but by using which axis is parallel to it, this. So in the parallel axis theorem, what we did for finding AB, IAB, I use the parallel axis. So similarly for finding IXX, I will use the parallel axis. So how it can be calculated is, this can be written as, which is the axis parallel to it, IG1 plus A1 into H1 square, correct? This IG1 is nothing but this, the moment of inertia about this axis. So this can be calculated as, this can be b1 d1 cube divided by 12. Now what is b1 d1? This is b1 150 and this is d1 50, correct? So b1 d1 cube divided by 12 Ig1 plus area will be again b1 into d1 and h1, see here, this is h1, correct? This will be h1. So what is the distance between the two axes? I will rub this for more clarity. Moment of inertia is a problem which takes time, but it should be neat and clear. So this is h1. Relate here, correct? h1, the distance between the two axes, correct? h1. So what will be the value of h1? It is 125. So this will be, total is 200, 120, so it will be 75. So this is 75, 125, total is 200. So out of 75, if we remove 25, we will get this, correct? 75 minus 25, it will be 50, correct? So first what we are doing, we are calculating mi of rectangle 1 about x-axis axis. Mi of rectangle 1 about x-axis axis. So we are using the parallel axis theorem here, correct? h1. So h1 will be 50. So I can put the values here in this. b1 d1, what is b1? 150, d1 50. 150 into 50 cube divided by 12 plus a1 again 150 into 50 h 50 square, correct? So the value of this will be, is coming out to be 20.313 into 10 raised to 6, since all the dimensions in mm. So we got our moment of inertia of rectangle 1 about x-axis axis, correct? You got it? Now similarly on the same lines, I have to find moment of inertia of a rectangle 2 about x-axis axis. Similarly on same lines, I have to find moment of inertia. This is this and this is this, correct? Moment of inertia of rectangle 2 about x-axis axis. Now again I will draw another diagram. So this is something like this for your clear understanding. So this is the CG, suppose this is the axis and this is the point G2 and this is x, correct na? X-axis is up and G2, from here if I draw some axis it will be G2, correct? Now you see we have to find the moment of inertia of the rectangle 2 about x-axis axis, about this axis, about x-axis axis, correct? So we can solve it on the similar lines like this. We have to use this is parallel axis theorem. Again I have to use parallel axis theorem. So now about x, so it will be Ig2 plus A2 into H2 square. Now what is Ig2? What is Ig2? This Ig2. So suppose this is the rectangle. This is the rectangle web and this is G. This is B2 and this is D2. So what is Ig2? Ig2 is D2 B2 cube divided by 12 plus A2 into h2 square. So this is again parallel access theorem, since it will be, my mistake, it will be b2 d2 cube bd cube by 12 plus area into h2 square. So what is b2 here? So b2 I have already shown, b2, this is b2, this is d2. So b2 is 50, d2 is 150, correct? So it will be 50 into 150 cube divided by 12 plus area will be again the same, 150 into 50, area 2. Now what is h2? h2 will be this distance, h2. So h2 will be this distance, this, correct? h2. So what is this distance? From here to here it is 125, and from y bar is 125, from here to here it is 125, and from base up till this CG is 150 divided by 2, 75, correct? So 125 minus 75 will be our h2, 50, correct? Correct. So 125 minus 75 will give us 50. So if we solve this, we get the value of, it is coming out to be 32.81. (32.81 into 10 raised to 6 mm raised to 4). So you got it, how we use the parallel axis theorem. Remember this in mind, these two diagrams. This was for rectangle 1 and this is for rectangle 2. I have shown here parallel axis theorem. How parallel axis theorem is applied? Parallel axis theorem. So in both the cases it is applied like this, correct? And the formula is written here, Ig1 plus A1 h square, Ig2 plus A2 h2 square. So we got the value of moment of inertia of rectangle 1 about xx axis and moment of inertia of rectangle 2 about xx axis. So if we add these two, our Ixx will be, Ixx is equal to 20.313 into 10 raised to 6 plus 32.81 into 10 raised to 6. So the answer is coming out to be 53.125 into 10 raised to 6 mm raised to 4. So this is our final answer. This is Ixx. The moment of inertia about this axis is coming out to be 53.125 into 10 raised to 6. Now this is all about xx axis. Now we have to find the moment of inertia about y axis, correct? This we have solved for xx axis. Now we will go for y axis. Now moment of inertia about y axis we have to calculate. x axis we have calculated about y axis. So similarly on the same lines as x axis, moment of inertia about y axis will be moment of inertia of rectangle 1 about y axis plus, I can write this as I y is equal to plus moment of inertia of rectangle 2 about y axis, correct? Moment of inertia of rectangle 1 about y axis, moment of inertia of rectangle 2 about y axis. Now first we will see this, how to calculate moment of inertia of rectangular 1 about y axis. So now we have to calculate the moment of inertia about y axis, correct? So you can see here, again by applying parallax theorem, if I apply, so what we will get? Now you can see that y axis, this axis y is coinciding with the CG, with the axis of respective CGs of respective rectangles. Suppose if I draw a figure something like this, this is the first rectangle and this is the CG G1 and this is the y, correct? So you can see here that this rectangle's IG1, or you can say this rectangle's IYY is coinciding with the y axis, correct? Our y axis of the whole section is coinciding with the y of this rectangle, correct? So it will be like, if we apply parallax theorem, it will be I G1 across y plus area 1 into h1 square, correct? So Ig1 is for y axis, it is for y axis it is dB cube by 12, so it will be d1 b1 cube divided by 12 plus a1. Now what is this h1 square? So h1, you can see that this rectangle's y axis and the original y axis is coinciding, therefore this h is coming out to be 0, correct? How it is 0? Because there is no distance. There is no distance between the y axis of the whole section and the y axis of this rectangle. That's why this h is coming out to be 0. So it will be, what is d1? d1 is 50, correct? 50 into 150 cube divided by 12, area is 150 into 50 and this is 0 square. So this term will get omitted and our moment of inertia of rectangle 1 about x axis will be this value. So it is coming out to be 14.06 into 10 raised to 6 mm raised to 4. So this is moment of inertia of rectangle 1 about y axis. Similarly, if you want to calculate moment of inertia of rectangle 2 about y axis, what will be that? So now again this rectangle, so I will draw here. Suppose this is the rectangle, second rectangle, correct? The CG is somewhat here and the original CG is here. So you can see that CG y axis, means this axis is coinciding with the y axis of this rectangle, correct? They are overlapping each other. So it will be same I G2 plus A2 H2 square. So it will be d1 dB cube by 12. So it will be d2 b2 cube divided by 12 plus A2 h. Now what is the h here? Again h is 0. Why? Because there is no distance. The y of the rectangle, this rectangle, the y of this rectangle is coinciding with the y of the whole section. That's why this h will be 0. So this term becomes 0. So it will be d2. What is d2 here? This is b2, this is d2. So 150 into 50 cube divided by 12. 150 into 50 cube divided by 12. So it will be 1.56 into 10 raised to 6 mm raised to 4. So this is, so IYY is equal to 14.06 into 10 raised to 6 plus 1.56 into 10 raised to 6. Correct. And the final answer is 15.625 into 10 raised to 6 mm raised to 4. So we got our IYY and IXX. So the major thing in this problem was knowing the parallel axis theorem, correct? Parallel axis theorem was applied in this problem. Similarly, in the next video I will solve a problem where this YY axis of this rectangle is not coinciding with the YY axis. I will take a figure which is non-symmetrical on XX as well as YY axis. Now this figure was symmetrical about YY axis, that's why this H was coming to be 0, correct, here and here. But in my next video I will take such a problem, L section or an angular section, that this H exists, correct. So the idea or the problem will be more clearer to you in finding the moment of inertia of a T section or an angular section. So hope your concept about the moment of inertia is clear now. Do check my next video for more clarity, and if you like this video, do share, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.